to suspect that there exists another type of spiritual reality just beyond the grasp of our human senses, that occasionally, and often unexpectedly, pierces the veil of our physical world. In Christian Science, we called these spiritual laws, and I was told over and over I needed merely to bring myself in line with those higher laws to banish the cough or the heartache. I say merely, but it's actually tough sledding, trying to fix all your problems through prayer. In my mid-30s, I chose the ease and reliability of Tylenol over the hard-won healings of Christian Science. More than that, I was tired of my ascetic diet of divine law and spiritual principles. I suppose I could have walked away from religion altogether, dismissing God and swatting away eternal questions. But for whatever reason, my genetic wiring, or the serotonin receptors in my brain, or the stress hormones in my body, I held fast to the idea of God, of a creator above and within this messy creation called my life and yours. I remained open to something unexplainable, even supernatural. But I did not have a clue as to how radically my life would be upended when I encountered that mystery one summer evening in Los Angeles. On June 10, 1995, Kathy Young and I were sitting on a bench outside Saddleback Valley Community Church. The Saturday night service had ended an hour earlier. Even the stragglers had gone home. I was interviewing her for a Los Angeles Times Sunday magazine article about fast-growing churches, specifically why baby boomers in their 30s and 40s were flocking to evangelical churches. This took me into new spiritual territory. As a Christian Scientist, I had absorbed Mary Baker Eddy's version of deity. The flinty founder of Christian Science defined God as a list of qualities: life, truth, love, spirit, soul, mind, and principle. The Christian Science God is not a person. But to the evangelical Christians I met during my research for the Times, God is first and foremost a person, one who came to Earth 2 millennia ago and still yearns for a relationship with every human being. Kathy Young was my tour guide through this evangelical world. I was drawn to her because she seemed a lot like me. We occupied the same lonely demographic. Both in our mid-30s and single, we were wrestling with existential questions. But my questions paled next to hers. This woman had been fighting cancer for years. Her melanoma had recently returned, driving her to her knees in despair and eventually to the comfort of Saddleback Church. Saddleback and its pastor, Rick Warren, are now almost household names. But back in 1995, Rick Warren was unknown outside evangelical Christian circles, and his church drew only a few thousand people a week. Now it's closer to 20,000. Many of those people were like Kathy, broken in some way, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and famished for a living, breathing God who listens and intervenes. Saddleback is founded on this kind of God, and gives him a structure to work with: 12-step programs, ministries for every sort of physical, emotional, or financial challenge, and a massive prayer chain in which hundreds of Saddleback members prayed for those in distress, like Kathy. "Do you think the prayer group in the church will heal the cancer?" I asked Kathy that night, scribbling notes in the fading light. "No, healing comes from God," she said. "The church is here to be your family. They're really your support team down here because we don't have Jesus around to touch and talk to us. The church is God with skin on." That was the quote that appeared in my Times article. What happened next did not. "Kathy, how can you possibly be so cheerful when you've got this awful disease?" I asked. "It's Jesus," she said. "Jesus gives me peace." "A guy who lived 2,000 years ago?" I asked, incredulous. "How can that be?" "Jesus is as real to me as you are," she explained. "He's right here, right now." Right.